Good morning. Happy Wednesday, happy Wellness Wednesday, and Happy New Year. This is my first Wellness Wednesday since the new year started. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be on episode 14. If you don't know me or you've just stumbled on my page, my name is Donna. I'm a mom, I'm a nana, I'm a recently retired, and retired is a very loose term, from my job of 21 years. I am an entrepreneur, I'm an activewear addict, and I am a wellness advocate. Good morning, Miss Carla. And the reason I started Wellness Wednesday was because wellness is a very broad term. It covers a lot of things. And I feel that when we share ideas and we share information, we have the ability to help each other be well. So, good morning, Stacy. So, the whole purpose of this is to share ideas. So mind you that whatever I'm speaking of, I'm not an expert on. I've just done a little digging around. I'm presenting a topic that's affected me in some way, shape, or form, and sharing things that have helped me or things that I have learned, things that I'm implementing or trying. So if you have anything that you want to talk about under a Wellness Wednesday topic, as long as it's not politics or negativity, bring it on, send me a message, drop a comment. I'll be happy to, especially if you don't really have time to dig into it, but you want to know more about it. I love to learn new things, so don't hesitate to, like I said, drop a comment or shoot me a message if you have something that you think you'd like to see covered in a future Wellness Wednesday. All right, so let's get started. Okay, what does money have to do with wellness? That would be the first question. And I guess that probably depends on who you're talking to, right? Some people are extremely stressed out because they don't feel like they have any or that they are ever going to. Some people are stressed out by having money. They hoard it, they save it, they don't ever do anything with it, they're stingy with it. They're kind of the Scrooges of the world, if you will, right? But what does money have to do with wellness? Well, money has absolutely nothing to do with happiness. There's a difference. But it has a lot to do with wellness, because when you feel financially sound or when you are not worried about money, you are less stressed, you are less depressed, and you have the ability to impact people more. And pay attention to that, because that's going to be important in a minute. Money can absolutely not buy happiness, but it can give you a lot of breathing room. And when it comes to impacting lives around you, when it comes to being able to go to sleep at night knowing your basic bills are handled and that you're not in actual survival mode, money can go a lot of way towards keeping you well. So that's why we're going to talk about money today, just a little bit differently than what we normally talk about. But let's start, I may sound like I'm a little all over the place, but let's start with the universe versus God, okay? Because this is going to be a big deal when it comes to money mindset. And money mindset is really what has a profound effect on whether we have it or not. That's just the truth. But let's talk about the universe versus God for a second, because there's a lot of people who don't believe in God, but they believe in the universe. And you know what? That's okay. Whatever you believe in, that's totally fine. I think more people have trouble reconciling when they hear people say, ask the universe for money, ask the universe for what you need, put it out into the universe and you'll get it back. I don't know about you, but for me, especially when I first found my faith in God, I really, really struggled with that. I'm like, I can't do that. I believe in God. I can't put it out into the universe and think that I'm going to get it back. I don't understand all this universe stuff. So I had to ask a mentor how she reconciled her faith in God, because I knew she was a woman of faith, with her talk about putting it out into the universe. And her answer was unbelievably simple, to the point where I almost felt stupid, but it was true. She looked at me and she said, you believe that God created the universe, right? And I said, oh my gosh, enough said. So if you are struggling when you hear people talk about money mindset and financial wellness, if you are struggling because a lot of that talk is laced with and surrounded with talk about the universe, if you are a believer in God and you struggle with that, if you're a believer in any God, whatever your God is, you probably believe that they created the universe or had something to do with it, right? So hopefully that'll put that to rest for you right now. And that has a lot to do with the rest of what we're going to talk about. Okay, so the universe versus God. Now that we've taken that away, and we feel that if you believe in God, the universe and God are the same thing, or whatever you do believe in, we've got you covered. So let's talk about your language around money. I know that this is probably going to hit home for you because it hits home for me every single day. I am constantly and steadily working on changing my language about money, but I definitely still see where I have some work to do. So if your automatic response every time you look at anything you like, no matter what it is, no matter what the price tag is, or even before you look at the price tag is, I can't afford it, you are speaking limiting money language beliefs. You are basically putting it out into the universe or putting it out to God that you don't believe it, that you don't, it's a negative thought process. I'm trying to explain it. I'm not doing a very good job, but instead of saying, I can't afford it, say, I'm looking forward to purchasing it at a future date. Or I'd love to another time. One thing that I have been famous for, especially once my daughter hit her teenage years, was I never have any cash. I never have any cash. That's all you ever heard come out of my mouth. Well, guess what? You know what? I never had any cash because all I talked about was never having any cash. So that doesn't sound like it seems like a lot. But those little tiny things that you are putting out there every day in the universe that your God created, whoever that is, those are, it's almost like, how else do I explain it? It was explained to me as the universe goes, oh, okay, she wants money. Oh, well, never mind. No, she really doesn't, because all she does is talk bad about it. Does that make sense? And for those of us that believe in God, there's a lot of struggles there with asking for money or anything like that in a way that makes it sound like we're prioritizing money or putting money first, but I'm going to get there in a minute. I promise. Okay, so I never have any cash. I can't afford it. All of these negative things and negative connotations surrounding money may be part of the reason why you struggle with it. I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I know it sounds like a lot of woo-woo, and it's hard to believe, but it's true. Speaking as somebody who always said, I never have any cash, who always said, no, I can't do that, no, I can't afford that, and who always said, I have terrible luck, I never win anything. I don't think God wants me to have money in that way. I mean, seriously, these are the things. If these are things that are coming out of your mouth on a regular basis, the best way to change your money mindset in 2023 is to stop it. Just stop it. And I know it's not that easy, but try replacing that language with something else. Instead of I can't afford it, say I look forward to purchasing that in the future. Instead of I don't have the money, say I'd love to another time. Instead of I never have any cash, don't speak about the cash, or put cash in your wallet and leave it there. We're going to talk about that in a minute too. Another way to change that language is to read books about money. And again, I don't want you to misunderstand me. I'm not talking about dropping everything else and chasing the almighty dollar. I'm talking about on your day-to-day activity, changing the way you talk about and think about money. How do you do that? You can read books about wealth. Did you know that 97%, according to Ramsey Solutions, which is the ever-famous Dave Ramsey that has the Get Out of Debt program and that so many people follow, they conducted a study of 10,000 millionaires. 10,000 millionaires. That means there's at least that many in the country, in the world. They conducted a study of 10,000 millionaires, and 97% of them actually believed that they could become millionaires before they did. So the mindset does have a lot to do with it. So read books, because that helps adjust that helps adjust the mindset. You may learn things that you don't know. I have a couple here that one I started on that I haven't finished yet. And again, I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I have a long way to go. But I can't even begin to tell you how much my money mindset has changed in the last 2 years. Just once I I learned that wanting to earn more money and wanting to have more money wasn't necessarily a conflict with my faith in God. In fact, because I want to use that money to impact other lives, it actually aligns with my faith in God. Does that make sense? So there's a couple I have here. One I just got for Christmas, which is Think and Grow Rich. Almost everybody's heard of it, but I've never read it. It's by Napoleon Hill. Another one I have is Time, Money, Freedom by the Higdon Group, I believe. Yes, Ray and Jessica Higdon. I have a couple others. If you would like to know more information about those, shoot me a message and I'll send you the top books that are recommended for money mindset. So read books, because the more you read about money, the more you learn about it, and the more you learn how to manage it properly, the more likely you are to have a positive mindset around it. And remember that you will never become that which you despise. That's something another one of my mentors teaches. And the funny thing about that is I see it in myself still, okay? Especially if we grew up with no money, or if we grew up in devoutly religious or Christian homes, not even necessarily Christian. We've kind of learned along the way, one way or another, that having money is bad. And one of the primary mindsets that exists out there, and I'm probably guilty of the same, is that people that have money are jerks. So if that's the way you're thinking about people who have money, that is a limiting money mindset that is going to keep you from reaching your full potential. It also may impact other parts of your life besides just the money. I'm guilty of it. I'm just going to throw it out there. Elon Musk has been a source of great bewilderment to me for the last 6 months, because I think that his ideas are cool. I know that he has made his money honestly. However, when millionaires start giving money away, I'm always like, what are they doing? What are they up to? And it's automatically a suspicious, what are they doing? What are they up to? What are they trying to get out of this? Guess what? If that's how you feel about people with money, you're never going to be that person, because you are never going to become that which you despise. So I'm guilty. And I'm not saying, don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying Elon Musk is doing anything wrong. He's just the most recent in a long line of millionaires I've seen being philanthropic. Did I say that word right? I don't think I did. With their money, and my first thought is, what are you up to? So if you have that kind of limiting belief towards people with money, if you automatically assume that everybody that has money is a jerk, that is going to be a limiting belief for you that is going to affect, I don't know who's laughing at me over there. I just saw probably the way I said something. That limiting belief is going to keep you from reaching your full financial potential. All right, so this brings us to a scarcity mindset. This is another thing we learn often in childhood. I don't know about you, but I grew up in a very poor family, financially poor. We were on food stamps, we were on WIC, we were on government cheese, dry milk. I'm sure some of you remember those type of things. So I learned early and very, very young that if I wanted to be able to do anything that I wanted to do, I needed to make money. And for a long time there, whatever I made wasn't enough. I worked 2 jobs. I've been working since I was 14 years old. But I definitely had a scarcity mindset. And the best example of this, to show where it has still followed me into my 40s, is when I was getting ready to retire. Now, mind you, I have retired from my job, but I am not retired in general. I had a limited sum of money that could cover a paycheck for a while I work on some other things. But the second that I knew that regular paycheck wasn't going to be rolling in anymore, I gave my resignation to my job. I did all the things. I hired my replacement. And I never had any regrets, but I literally one day looked at the calendar and said, okay, this is the last day I'm going to be on payroll. And I had a spaz attack. I had a spaz attack because all of the sudden, even though I had a plan and I had it covered and I had money set aside for this purpose, I looked at that calendar, and the second that I saw that for the first time in my life, there wasn't going to be a paycheck rolling in, I almost had a heart attack. It wasn't because I wanted to go back to my job. It wasn't because I wanted to stay at my job. It was because I was questioning the plan. A plan that, mind you, God had a big hand in. But I was questioning it, and I was getting stuck on that scarcity. Oh no, what am I going to do? I'm not going to have a paycheck anymore after that day. And it cost me about 2 weeks of general productivity in the world because it was a scarcity mindset. Oh no, what am I going to do? So how did I change that? Well, once the light bulb went on that's what was happening, that's what was happening with the scarcity mindset. Good morning, Danielle. I realized I stopped thinking about that big circle on the calendar that was going to be my last paycheck. And I started thinking about, this is what the money was set aside for. This is the plan. Follow the plan. Don't worry about that. And that's what I kept focusing on. And that even if everything that I was planning to do fell apart, that I know, good morning, Gaston, that I know I can walk out on any given day and get another job, get another paycheck, and bring that money in. So I almost blew up all the plan because I looked at a date on the calendar and said, oh no, that's my last paycheck. That is what I'm talking about with a scarcity mindset. I am talking about when you have $20 in the bank and or you have $20 in your wallet and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't spend it. I never have $20 in my wallet. I can't spend this. The right attitude is, you know what? I have $20 in my wallet. If I need it, I'm good. So that's the kind of scarcity mindset I'm talking about. And there's two of the ways that you can get rid of that is, one, to be generous with your money. Most people that have less scarcity mindset are giving, they're tithing to their church, they're giving back to a community organization on a regular basis, some percentage of their income. And if you give with the intent of just blessing somebody else, and that's where we talk about that impact that you can have about money. When you give knowing that, yes, like looking over a cliff. Yes, Carla, that was exactly right. When you give with the expectation of nothing more than blessing somebody else, it is very difficult to have that scarcity mindset. And it does, if you do it over time, it does change your mindset. The other thing is gratitude, being grateful for what you do have instead of focusing on what you don't have or what you don't think you deserve. Focusing on what you do have, especially in comparison to what, if you are, especially because somewhere along the line, you're going to find you're in better shape than you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. And sometimes it's hard to see that when you get caught up in all of this. But if you're grateful for what you have, especially in comparison to what you did, good morning, Caitlin, then you're that much more likely to be able to work on that scarcity mindset and get rid of it. Gratitude goes a long way. Okay, almost done here, guys. Don't disrespect your wallet. If your wallet, this is something I learned from a speaker a couple years ago, and I've tried really hard to keep up with it ever since. This goes back to I never have any cash. If your wallet looks like your junk drawer in your house, and everybody's got one, if your wallet looks like your junk drawer, there's not room for any new cash in 2023. Clean it out. If your wallet is your history of shopping with expired receipts dating back to 10 years ago, clean it out. If you've got expired gift certificates, whatever, get those out. Empty your wallet. What did she told me to treat it like it was my kitchen or living room and I was having company. Clean it out, make it pretty, put some cash in there. Because if you're always saying that you never have any cash, you're never going to have any cash. But if you make sure you always have cash, you might be surprised at what happens. Don't disrespect your wallet. It's not a storage locker. It's not an entire lifetime of receipts. Treat it like company's coming over. Clean it out. Get rid of those receipts. Get rid of those expired gift cards, whatever. Shred the things that are expired. And get that wallet cleaned out and ready for company. And finally, today, and like I said, we're not going to talk about how to make money. We're just talking about how to change your mindset towards money. Visualize. If you have a goal or you have something you want to buy, you have a dream vacation, You have something specific you want to do. Money needs a direction. If you're going to have it, it needs a direction. It needs to know where it's going. It needs to have a place. So it is okay to daydream about what you're going to do with it. It's okay to get online and look at those things you want and even add them to your cart. The best way to achieve any goal, whether it's money related or not, is to visualize it to the point where you can feel it, where you can taste it, and where you can feel the emotion that you would have in relationship to achieving that goal, whatever it is. And the same goes for money. If you can feel it, if you can taste it, whatever it is. Good morning, Michelle. It is okay to daydream. It is okay to visualize it. That is part of the goal setting experience if you truly want to hit that goal. So that means you can go ahead and you can go online and you can, you know what, build that car you've always wanted. You don't have to check out. You do have to get a good solid visual and a feeling of whatever that's going to feel like when you achieve that goal. Good morning, Marie. And that is it. So again, change your language around money. Work on getting rid of that scarcity mindset. Identify where it is in your life and what has caused it, and work on flipping that script. Read the books. Read the books about money mindset. Don't disrespect your wallet or use it like a storage locker. And visualize your goals, any of them, whether they're money related or not, to the point where you can feel, taste, and experience the emotion that would come with achieving that goal. And those are going to be the best ways to start changing your money mindset for 2023. I hope you found this helpful. If you found it helpful, please share it. If you have other tips that have helped you, yes, you can daydream, Marie. If you have other tips that have helped you change your money mindset and helped you move the needle forward on being able to impact others' lives with money, and that's my big thing. For me, I want more money so that I can impact more lives. So again, that goes back to that universe versus God. We are taught from a young age that money is evil and that we shouldn't want it, but there's a lot of good that we can do with it. And if that's what you want to do, then certainly that doesn't go against your beliefs. So money mindset can change in 2023. If you have tips that have helped you with budgeting, with money mindset, with getting past that scarcity feeling, please feel free to comment. If you have ideas for future Wellness Wednesdays, please feel free to send me a message. And if you found this helpful, share. I appreciate you all. I'm so happy to see you over this next year and see how successful we can be when we are well and we are sharing our wellness with each other. Thank you so much. Have a fabulous day. Bye.